This is the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver. Aaron is a huge fan of country music star Eric Church and is a member of his fan base, the Church Choir. Aaron has attended and continues to attend as many shows as possible, and along the way, he meets some incredible people. Each week, he'll introduce you to a fellow choir member, and together, they will share their awesome stories and life adventures. It's time to meet one of them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host and choir director for the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast, Aaron Shriver.
We're back for another Tuesday night. This is gonna be a fun one, though. All right, let's hope the chat's up and running. Yep, I see a chat. Cool. We already got someone in here. What's up? So chat's up and running and everything else. I got my guest already on hold, ready to go. There's Taylor coming in, so he's ready to go. Something about a goat in the house or something. Oh, Will Owen in the house. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. So what is up, guys? So we are excited to be here tonight. It's gonna be a fun night. First off, like I started off last week, I gotta thank once again Arlo Revolution for helping me out and for helping me continue this show every week. He does cinematic wedding films, music videos, and promos here in the Chicagoland area. He does travel. He's been out to Nashville and done plenty of music videos out there. So look him up on Facebook, arlorevolution.com. Joel, Janet, both of you guys, Art on Hirewire, you're creative. Look those both up on Facebook. You guys can see the logos right here in front of you on the screen, and just everybody that's on Patreon and whatnot. If you're over on our Secret Santa group, yesterday was a fun day. Some really cool videos already coming out, and it's gonna be fun. They're gonna continue to come. I know I didn't send mine until Monday, but I can't wait till mine gets there. And but Kara, man, she's been kicking some butt out there for me, helping me out. So I can kind of focus on this show because it takes me a lot of time to really prep for this show and get this show ready every week. But yeah, I was just kind of reading some notes. But the biggest year we've had in 3 years, we had I think 209 people sign up for it. Tons of cool videos and photos and a lot of cool stuff happening over there on the Secret Santa page. So if you didn't get in on it this year, check it out next year. We're gonna keep doing it every year. It's gonna be a fun time. So, but yeah, it's been a good time. So. I'm already ready. I mean, I had like 5 minutes of stuff. I was like, oh, let's just talk about this, talk about that. But I'm like, kind of just want to jump on and yeah, bring this guy on if you guys are ready. Who's ready for this guy? I think he's ready.
What's up?
You know I had to give you some good theme music there.
Oh,
some good
yeah.
intro music.
I love that.
What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. I've been looking forward to this one, dude. It's gonna be a fun one. We were definitely gonna have a good night, dude.
Yep.
I know you probably have Mitch is saying Brad Parks is already crying somewhere.
Yeah, Brad likes
to cry a drinking game. How many times can we make Hardy spit out his drink tonight? Now, can you see me right now, Hardy?
Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, cool. All right. So I know sometimes some people are like, oh, we can't see you, but you can see me, so that's good. So you are from the great state of North Carolina, huh?
Yep. Y'all can see that in there. North Carolina. Yep, sure am.
Yeah, let me move that around. That way it's a little bit different. All right. So what's the best thing about North Carolina? We're just going to jump off and ask that right off the bat.
Probably the soda pop cherry wine. Yep.
All right. I know. I think we asked Lee that too. So I want to ask what the best thing on North Carolina is. I'm waiting for somebody to say Eric Church, but
yeah, I mean, he's good too. Yeah.
But I know you're a fan of that cherry wine, huh?
Oh yeah, that's good stuff, man. I got good barbecue.
So where were you the first time you ever heard the name or the music of Eric Church?
All right, so this is an interesting story. I was driving my cousin's pickup truck back to the house. I dropped him off to meet his girlfriend to go on a beach trip, and he had a mixed CD in his truck, and I was going through the songs, and I heard this song, and I didn't know what the hell it was, but I liked it. And I listened to it, and I went back home, I looked it up, and it was Eric Church, but the song was Love Your Love the Most. And I was like, dang, that's a pretty good song. So I just on a mixed CD in my cousin's truck.
So were you by yourself?
Yeah, I was. Yep.
So how did that? I mean, that's a good song to kind of get you hooked on it.
Oh yeah.
You just kind of what? Just relate to all the lyrics to it, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I think the phone call from my baby part. I don't know.
I was gonna say, which one stood out the most?
Yeah, I think it was like that part right there.
All right, and it was over after that. So, where's your first show?
It was in Greensboro, North Carolina, 2014. On the, I guess that was the Outsiders, I believe.
Outsiders, yeah. So, is that this picture right here?
No, that is later on. That was the first time I met him, though. That was still, I think that was 2015, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is Outsiders where you met him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was in Raleigh. That was the first night I met Taylor, too.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Someone says it sounds like a country song. Doesn't it? Yeah, Johnson does sound like a country song the first time you ever kind of heard at church. I mean, it was just in the truck, mixtape was playing. Was it a tape or a CD?
It's a CD, just a burnt
Yeah,
CD.
I was gonna say, I don't think you're old enough, or you're young. If you would have said it was like a cassette, you throw on like some Sinners on the cassette, that would have been pretty cool. I knew a band that came back and they actually were releasing cassettes. I'm like, if church ever put out like I think cassettes, he'd bring them back.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think he's bringing back vinyl. So why don't you go out there and make some cassettes? Yeah,
buy a cassette plant.
My kids were bouncing around earlier. I think I just lost a light somewhere on the ceiling. It's dark. So tell me about the Outsiders tour. That being your first tour. That was a tour. He had a big old devil in the back of the stadium, or the arena, didn't he?
Yeah, he had both. He had the devil, and then he had that big floating skull too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was that seeing him on that tour first?
It was pretty cool. I went to I think 4 or 5 on that tour.
Damn.
I went
Right off the bat.
Yeah, I went to Raleigh a couple times, but the closest I got was in Raleigh at the PNC Arena, and I done the when they had those the VIP tickets. You got to go do the song, 2 songs.
The joint? You got to go to the joint or whatever?
Yeah, I went to the joint, and that was pretty cool. And one of the songs he sang was "Love Your Love the Most," so that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that's where he had like little like floating museum.
Yeah,
he would take around with him. He had all like the different stuff. And didn't he have like the Taylor Swift thing in there too, like the record she gave him?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. And he had a bunch of free food and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was always sold me at free food. Come on now.
Well, when it said light snacks, I was thinking chips and soda. No, it was beef brisket and grits and all kinds of stuff.
Was it as good as North Carolina barbecue or?
It was in Raleigh, so yeah, it probably come from somewhere down there.
Let's see. All right, so we gotta talk about after the Outsiders tour, how much longer was it until you and I first kind of crossed paths? It was what, 2 years?
Yeah, I can't remember the date, but it was wasn't on a tour. It was just a festival that kicked off.
So how many shows were you at when he came into ECU, do you think?
Oh man, I should have pulled that up. I can pull it up here in a minute, but I'd probably say 12 maybe. Nice,
dude. I know that's the first time you and I kind of met. I was up there with Corey. We were tailgating. Corey brought some barbecue too, so I mean that was pretty good barbecue he had. I think you came over to the tent and hung out.
Yeah, that was a fun tailgate. That was the first time we got to meet, and I'm thinking the first time I met
Jordan, your sidekick over there, she's gonna pull all your stuff up for you.
Yeah, she's gonna get my flash drive.
I'm like, I need a sidekick over here. Be like, hey, pull this up for me. Pull that up for me. That's awesome. So ECU, man, I've talked about it multiple times on this show, and I'm probably talk about it multiple times again. It's probably one of my worst like experiences ever at a church show.
Yeah, I hate that. And then I heard you had some bad times on the airplane.
I saw this photo. Yeah, the airplane. But this photo you took of Kid Rock was actually pretty interesting. I like this one.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hell of a show, though.
Yeah.
So you're in the pit the whole time, but you went in pretty early. So you were all right.
Yeah, we got there. Well, it was so hot. We was there all day out there in the pit.
Oh, you were in line for a while because when you came over and saw us, it was.
Yeah, it was. We was out there
in line. So we had that VIP thing upstairs, and it was just a mess. Yeah, the ECU show was just. I mean, because right before church went on is when that radio guy came out and said, "Hey, let's fill it up and invite everybody." And then they tried kicking everybody back out. because the pit was too many people in the pit.
Yeah, I remember that. It was crazy. People were getting mad. They're like,
Have they ever done it again since then, or didn't they do it the year after that, and then that was it? Or
I think they did. I think they had Blake Shelton, and I like the old Blake. I don't like the new Blake. And then I think they stopped it.
oh yeah, Tracy. Tracy's saying the same thing. She's an alum there, and I flew all the way from Chicago because Kid Rock and Church. I mean, two of my favorites together. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go to this show. It's gonna be an awesome show, and I just don't know if the staffing that they had there, or the customer service, or whoever was brought in to do crowd control. I don't know what it was at this place, but it's like everybody had different agendas that night.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Jordan just pulled up. So ECU was my ninth show, and on the Outsiders tour, I think I went to 6 on the first tour. So
Oh wow,
yeah, there we go.
So Stephanie says, and Blake Shelton got canceled.
Oh, okay. I thought, something happened. I don't know. I guess Eric Church and Kid Rock was just too much for them to handle.
Dude, that's a big show. I mean,
Yeah.
so you have a rowdy crowd coming in anyways, and then the crowd just wasn't even. I mean, the security. Well, I don't know what the heck was going on there. They just did not. Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they weren't prepared. I don't know if it was too much. I mean, you look back and there's like, I know I was looking today at some of your photos from the show, and there's a lot of empty seats in a lot of the photos.
Yeah.
And because everybody just piled to the floor, and everybody was like, "Oh, there wasn't that many people there." It's like, no, that floor was jam packed by the time church came on.
You would have thought they would have been prepared because ECU is known for the biggest Halloween party in any college ever.
Yeah, I never heard about that, but man, that sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, every year Halloween.
I'm gonna check that out one year. Look at that.
Let's go. Maybe Corey can go with us.
Oh, Corey, man, he brought us some. What was that? Bojangles.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
He brought us some Bojangles that next day, because that next day was our flight from hell. Like, we got on a plane at like 6 a.m. with all of Kid Rock's band, everybody but Kid Rock, even his tour manager, everybody that was there. I was chilling, talking to his drummer for a while, and the minute we get on the plane, we all sit down, and we're just flying from, what was that, Greenville, North Carolina?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we were flying from Greenville to, I want to say Charlotte or Raleigh, one of the two, because then we're flying from there to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a quick up and down flight, like a little jet. It wasn't a private jet, but just a little jet out of the little Greenville airport. And it was just from point A to point B. And we get on there, and then smoke starts coming out from underneath the seats on a little bit. And you can almost see like from front to back on this plane, only like 2 and 2 seats. Mm-hmm. And we're looking around, we're like, that ain't right. And I'm like, something ain't right on this. And then the pilot comes on, and he goes, "Oh, we're just having some computers and stuff going on. We got to shut down the plane and reboot it." So I look at my buddy. I'm like, "So wait, they're going to treat this like a computer? It's going to turn the damn thing off and turn it back on?"
Yeah.
And hope that fixes the problem. Well, apparently it didn't fix the problem. And if you're trying to get a plane mechanic on a Sunday morning in Greenville, North Carolina, good luck, because they're all in church anyways. So you gotta wait till the church is over to even get a mechanic. So luckily Corey came back, and they had Bojangles and picked us up, and I think they drove us to, I want to say Raleigh. What's closer, Raleigh or Charlotte?
Yeah, Raleigh.
So I think they drove us to Raleigh, and I almost want to say we flew from Raleigh to Charlotte, and then we got changed flights. I had like 8 or 9 different boarding passes by the end of the day. Man. We ended up flying into Milwaukee instead of Chicago. It was just a mess.
Yeah. The things we do for Eric Church.
I'll never come back to Greenville, I don't think. I'm sorry, y'all, but it was still a fun show. I mean, I'll still say the best time I've ever heard Eric, one of the best times I've ever heard Eric sing Carolina was that night at ECU. I mean, he put into, I mean, he laid it out that night.
Yeah.
He was ready, dude. He was ready for a home show, and he had to show up Kid Rock. I mean,
I know, man.
Kid Rock was opening for this guy. I mean, he had to show him up. So I think he did pretty good at showing him up. I mean, I don't know, right?
Very cool.
I always said about that show, though, I really wanted Kid Rock to close with what was it, Rock and Roll Jesus, and then Eric to open with Country Music Jesus.
No, that'd be pretty cool.
That would have been cool, like open close type thing. So after ECU, man, it was pretty much over for you, wasn't it? for church?
I can look at my thing up here. I know I went to Red Rocks.
Well, it
But
was shortly after that is when you started going a lot more. Like I know you did 6, but you started really traveling after that.
yeah, I was lucky enough to get a little some good shows in and get some good traveling in.
Being from North Carolina, you got to move around for a little bit. There's one of your Red Rocks photos, man.
Oh yeah.
How was Red Rocks for you? I mean, I know I've talked to a few other people that's been there, but what was your experience of Red Rocks like?
So let me give you a little backstory. I flew out there with
Well,
no.
Aubrey wants you to tell him a story, so let's hear a story.
All right.
A
So the
Red Rocks story.
backstory on Red Rocks is I flew out there without a ticket. I had PayPal to some woman like $100 for a ticket, but I had no idea she was gonna be fake, rip me off. So I flew out there. I got an Uber to the freaking box office. I was sitting on my suitcase at the box office, waiting on some woman to show up with my ticket. And luckily enough, she did. And I met her, and then we're not really. I didn't keep up with her, but I kept up with another girl, Michelle. I can't remember her last name. She's from California, and we're still good friends. And got to the show, so it worked out for me. And then I flew to Myrtle Beach as soon as I left there. So it was a in and out and crazy time. But Red Rocks is pretty cool. The history is awesome. The views are good, and the sound's incredible.
So what was your best takeaway from Red Rocks? Just like, would you do it again? Would you want it to be full band? Would you want them to keep the acoustic aspect of Red Rocks? I mean, what would you want to see?
Honestly, I'd like to see him anyway. I mean, acoustic or full band, but I'd like to go just get out there and hang out with my friends. You know, I didn't really know nobody then, and I didn't really sit with nobody by myself. So since I know everybody now, and I know people who were there at that show, I'd like to go back out with a big group and do it
again. Jordan's on the chat texting for you.
Yeah, she said she's gonna say some stuff. So
that's funny. Your sidekick over there hanging out. Yeah, that was one thing I would love to go on to Red Rocks. It was like right smack dab in the middle of the week, and I mean I know that was rough for a lot of people to kind of get out there, but it's definitely one of those regrets. It's like, damn, when next time he plays Red Rocks, I'm there. It's kind of like how I felt about the Gorge. I know we'll talk about that a little bit. We're at the Gorge this year, and that was just awesome. Going out there, but yeah, we'll bring that up in a little bit. So, after Red Rocks, I mean, where did you go from there? I mean, is that around the whole Holding My Own started, or?
Sorry, I had to look over here at my cheat sheet. Let's see, Red Rocks. Done Birmingham, and then that was when after Birmingham was when I come up the first time to stay with you, and we done Allstate Arena the first night, and then Milwaukee the second night.
Yeah, that's Holding My Own, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that picture right there.
Yep. That was a hell of a show.
Yeah, God, getting up the next morning and sitting out there eating subs in a cold.
It was cold. Like, what time of the year was that?
That was on April. It was in April.
See, now this picture. Hold on, was this picture here the one from the night before?
No, that was
this one here that is put up. That was the night before.
The big group with the Jack Daniels in the back. That was Chicago. That was Allstate Arena.
Yeah.
And then the second one was in Milwaukee.
Hell, we had two good groups. I don't know how we survived that weekend.
And then the first night is when we had the little get together at your house, and we was all drinking on the bus and everything.
Well, that was Chicago.
Yeah.
Because I found one of those. Let's see. We'll talk about that. We'll bring that up. I don't have any other pictures other than one other one. Let's see. Where is it? I think this was. Where's it? There we go. This is the bus that you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the.
Because you see Tony right up front.
Oh yeah.
So normally when church plays Chicago, either Chicago or Milwaukee, I try to have at least a little pre-party here at the house. I'll have either some guys from like the band Chief come and play, or my buddy Suvaka will come and play. I think Suvaka, he's in that one picture he played that day. But during Holding My Own tour, and it was awesome. We'll get a bus, which is kind of a 40-passenger school bus, and we get a couple coolers we throw on there, and we have a good time. As you can see in this picture.
Heck yeah, it's always fun.
It was cold on the way home though on that bus that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I remember it was really cold. We got one for Double Down too, but that was for the Carol's Pub show.
Yeah.
We did the night before Double Down.
Yeah, and then that was when we went to Wrigley Field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
We made the bus go. We made the bus drive by Wrigley. We're like, yeah, hey, go cruise past Wrigley real quick. So going back to Holding My Own, man, what was your highlights from the Holding My Own tour?
Oh man, look at my sheet. Definitely getting to come out there and hang out with you and see the infamous basement, and then thank you for your great hosting for letting me stay.
Anytime, dude.
Crash, and then getting into had a Greenville and a Greenville, North Carolina. South Carolina, and then a Greensboro show, and then they went to the Nashville show. So all that kind of right there together was just one big highlight, man. It was.
That was a good tour. I mean, I like a lot of people have asked me if I could pick between Double Down and Hold My Own, like which one would be the better of the two. And I'm like, I don't know if I could pick, like, because they both meant different things. I think they came at different times, and I felt like it meant different things to me. And I don't know if I could pick between the two. I mean, Double Down was amazing because you got two shows.
Yeah.
If you did both back to back, but I don't know. Could you pick one if you had to?
All of them, every show.
Johnson, we did talk about the American flag already. Not on the show yet, but we are gonna. That story will be shared tonight on the post show. Yeah, so everybody's talking about the American flag. We are gonna talk about that tonight. But it'll be the post show. So if you're on our Patreon post show, tune in later on, and we will definitely have that American flag story. So I can't wait. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Emma Jordan's probably like, not this story again. God. No.
She's used to it.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's just hard. Like, what to you was there a significant difference between the two tours?
I think it's more. This tour has been more focused on the fans, more intimate. Definitely more crazy. I mean, man, 2 shows going 3+ hours, all those songs. It's just, but yeah, I think this one's more kind of. He really looked at to the fans,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I think it was definitely more personable. Out on tour, and like stuff like coming off stage, going to the pit, and everything else. Yeah, see, like this chat's jumping the gun, man. Y'all jumping the guns already. We're gonna throw this up since Nina commented on it. You gotta bring this up. Mine's hanging on the wall, so I can't pull mine off. But where is it? You came off it was Holding My Own tour, right? And you had vintage albums that you got. Was at a thrift store, like just different albums you got, and you kind of just wrote little messages on it, added photos to them, and gave them to all of us on tour, which was really cool.
Yeah, I kind of just just the few friends that I had made kind of there. There was some people that I missed, but some of the people, just the ones I've been real close with, I decided to make them a little something. So I tried to write on there all the shows that we had both attended together. So
I got mine. You wrote Aaron and Jillian and Hold My Own Tour 2017. You wrote all the shows.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the lyrics or some lyrics of old friends, old whiskey, old songs on there.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah,
they're really cool.
A few of them took them into the show, and I didn't even think about that, but they thought about it. And they took it during record year, and he signed a few of them.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really. I remember he stopped and looked at them.
Yeah, I remember him looking at him. He's like, "What the hell is this?" But then he's like, "That's pretty cool."
He's probably like, "Who's the facing my? Oh, this ain't my album. All right, that's cool. All right, I can see this." Yeah, that was cool, man. It was definitely a cool little gift to give somebody, and it was meaningful because I know Taylor and I just recently kind of chatted. You don't really get a lot of things that are kind of handwritten anymore from people, and I think it's an art that's kind of disappearing. And like handwritten letters. So Taylor was on the show a couple weeks ago, and sits behind me now. She wrote me or sent me a card in the mail, and it was cool. It was just like a thank you card, just saying, "Hey, thanks for the show," and this and that. And I'm like, you don't get this anymore. You don't really get personable things from people anymore, and that album was cool to have something like that. It's always that right there. I mean, handmade things mean more to a lot of people than something you could buy, I think. So
Yeah, well, I'm glad everybody liked them.
yeah, Johnson over here. Hardy's just a softie with a heart of gold. That is true, Johnson. That is very true. But I mean, there is times we could break them, though. I mean, there is times where if enough alcohol's involved and we could get Boomhauer to hang around. So that's
Yeah.
his alter ego. I mean, Church has Chief. You got Boomhauer. I mean, we definitely, if we get a few of these drinks in them tonight, we'll probably get some Boomhauer out on you, right?
Maybe.
So just sticking on Holding My Own, can you pick a favorite show that you witnessed on Holding My Own? Like, is there one that, I mean, each one that was probably good, but different reasons you probably felt, but is there one that kind of stands out that you wanted to touch on maybe?
Probably just the North Carolina show. That was my home state and his home state, and it had been a while since he'd been back. And then I was also there with one of my good friends from here home, and so that was pretty fun.
Nice. It's always fun when you have like friends like come out. I know I kind of touched you and I brought up in our guys chat that we have about just if you like your old friends from like back home or whatever coming out and seeing church and
Oh yeah.
whatnot, and like if it ever happens. And like I was lucky to get a few of my friends out, but never really stuck with them. And it's kind of cool that we like all of us kind of met together and we hang out together and built different friendships off of it because like we all had friends before church. So it's like, do we still have those friends? Like, did you guys be able to bring them alongside with you? And
Yeah.
I tried. I mean, there's a couple of my good friends I've tried getting them to stick, but yeah,
Let me tell you
a
a funny story about that picture before you
Let's
change
do
it.
it.
So Strawberry, I had never even met that dude. I didn't know who the hell he was, but somehow we followed each other on Twitter, and I had posted a picture on there of me kind of making those things, and I was like, I got some cool things for my friends, and he was like, he replied to my tweet. He was like, "Am I one of those?" And I was like, so I was just like, I'm gonna make this guy one. I don't know who he is, but if he's gonna reply to my tweet, sure, I'm gonna give him one. And now we're like freaking best friends, man. He's a pretty cool dude.
Oh, Strawberry's awesome, dude. He is awesome. I'm gonna make sure he's on next year. We're gonna settle on a date and we're gonna work it out. And he's coming on the show for sure because I think he'd be a riot to have too.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this is you and I. We're still only 27 minutes in, so we're gonna get fun too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those records are awesome though, man. That's cool though. So this was the first night you and Strawberry met then in this picture?
I believe so, yeah, because he drove up, and I think he drove home the next day.
Well, speaking of driving up and driving home, then let's just bring this next topic up and we'll just jump into this. I think you kind of know where I'm going to go with it. Let me.
I got an idea.
Your obsession for Eric Church pop-up stores every year. So it was back in, was it 2017? I think it was. So same year as Holding My Own. Was it 2017?
Oh man, I think it might have been 15. Was one? Let's see.
15. I'm trying to look at the poster and I can see the dates, but so the Ascend Amphitheater show. Back in whenever year it was. I don't have all my dates pulled up, but when he did 2 nights in Ascend Amphitheater, the first night Eric did a pop-up store. I think it was one of his first pop-up stores he had, wasn't it? Or
I think so. Yeah, is it the old location? Yeah.
And you do you even have time or do you even stick around for the show?
No.
You just want to come and get in line for the pop-up store.
Yep.
So go ahead, tell the story, man.
So it was back when I used to work a textile job. I had worked Monday and Tuesday. I got off Tuesday night and I drove up to Nashville. Me and my mom went. And that's the Opry picture from earlier. That was where that was. That's the first time I ever went to the Opry. So on Wednesday, me and my mom just went around Nashville, checked everything out.
Okay.
Thursday was the first day of the pop-up store and then the first night of the show. And so I just went to the pop-up store to buy some stuff. I bought the poster from the show, knowing the whole time I couldn't go to the show because I had to go back to work on Friday morning. and so this was when Nick Barnes was still working for Eric, and we just got to talking. He couldn't believe I drove up just to come to the store and then go back home and not even go to the shows. And I was like, yeah, man. And so he took a picture of me. He said, I'm going to send this to Eric. And I was like, Well, I don't care if Eric just takes his phone out and looks at it and says,
Yeah, right.
who's this crazy guy?" and puts it back in his pocket. I just thought that'd be pretty cool to be on Eric Church's phone, and I didn't even think about nothing else. And then the next morning, I got this email, and people on Facebook were commenting on stuff, and I was like, "What in the world is this?" And so apparently that night during the show, he dedicated Carolina to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome. And
Taylor, I hope you really are quoting that. It'd just be nice to be on Eric Church's phone. It has to be on a shirt for Hardy. The front should say Hardy Party on the back. It sure would be nice to be on Eric Church's phone. So I got something cool, man. I actually got the audio. It's about 40 seconds long. So let me turn it up a second. Hopefully everybody can hear it. Let's listen to this real quick.
I don't know. There was a guy that I met. There's a guy I met today that he drove from Waynesboro, North Carolina, to here, and just to shop at a pop-up store. And he drove back to Waynesboro to go to work tonight. And I was blown away when I heard that. So we weren't gonna do this. We're not real good at doing this. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try this one for him. And, he's not here. He's at work in Waynesboro. But hey, man, love you.
That's awesome, man. So,
yeah,
you gotta tell me, how's life in Waynesboro?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I drove through there one time.
Is there a Waynesboro, North Carolina?
Yeah. So the only thing I can think of is when Nick Barnes took his phone out, and he's a Nashville native, that when he typed in Yakinville, it just totally auto-corrected it to Waynesboro or whatever. So I don't know.
That is funny, man. No, that's just cool. It's yeah, it's a cool story, Jimmy. And Jimmy's saying it's a really cool story, and it's cool because here's the email you got from HQ. The Tennessean shared it, and it's just all from being in line for the pop-up store. And then a couple years after that, you and I were just talking about it, and you were telling me about it, and I was there that night, and someone sent me some audio clips from that show, and I was like, it was right after Wrecking Ball in Carolina. I was like, wait, dude. I'm like, I think I have the audio from that show. I'm like, I got you. Hold on a second. Or the audio from those songs. And went back and looked, and that's where we got that clip from. So it's cool to have a clip like that. I mean, it's really cool because you never know. I mean, especially not being there, just like to have it.
Yeah.
Audio of him talking about it and saying he loves you, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's something. I mean, I never even thought, that never crossed my mind anything else would come from that picture of Nick sending it to Eric. And that's crazy that an artist would take the time out to do that for fans. But that's how much.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, and that was back in 2015 he was doing stuff like that. But
yeah. But I got to give a shout out to Ruth and Bill. They actually somehow got me a CD made that had that clip on it too, and some other songs too. So nice.
They're going to be coming on next year tw, I think. That's another name I'm talking to, so I'm trying to get them on.
Nice.
That was cool, man. You didn't even get the chance to be at Ascend when they opened it, but you were still a part of it in a way.
Oh yeah, I ain't made it back yet. I want to go to the show.
I haven't either.
Show there.
Yeah, I haven't either. I mean, I've drove by, I've seen it, but I just haven't stopped and seen a show by it or anything like that or whatnot. And yeah, cool. We got some good time going. I want to check out. Let's see where we're at on our time. So we got to talk about. I want to move on a little bit more.
Okay.
This picture here was Double Down, me and you, right?
Was I think that was shit. I don't know.
I don't either. It had to be Double Down.
Yeah, I'm a whole lot fatter.
Yeah, I heard Jordan in the background. Yeah, it is.
I got. You can tell by my cheeks. I got fatter, so it's okay.
Oh man, you're not getting fatter, are you?
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, we're jumping around. Here we go. I was like, where's those pictures I want to pull up? If I can get them loaded up. There we are. So she's talking. I'm gonna put a picture of her on her.
All right. Oh. Look at that,
So
Jordan.
this year, and I want to bring up, you and I got very lucky. We got to go to the Gorge
Yeah, that was.
Amphitheater, and your birthday's in June.
Yep.
So what was yours? Yours is what, 21st?
No, mine's the 27th.
27. So 2 days before mine. So
Yep.
so yours was Thursday, mine was Saturday. So you could probably, let's see, we started camping Thursday. We left Sunday.
Yeah.
We had a good celebration.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out to Shriver and Weber and whoever else had a hand in it. They surprised me with like 24 cupcakes. So.
They barely made it though, right?
Yeah, and it was eating them at like 3 in the morning when he was walking around and everything.
That was it was just a fun weekend, man. Like we got the camp. I know you sent the picture. I forgot to grab it, but we got the camp in like little yurts. Nina and Jason were out.
And Nina and Jason brought me cupcakes too, so I was on a diabetic high the whole weekend. So.
That's right. Was it Demo? Was it Demo brought the cupcakes, or we brought some cup?
Y'all brought some. Weber and all y'all, I guess. Whoever.
It had to be Weber that got them then, because we didn't bring them with us because we drove cross country to this show.
Yeah, and then Nina and Jason brought some too.
Yeah, man, that was a heck of a show. There were 2 shows, and I know Friday night we were up in the lawn. Saturday we're down in the pit, but
yeah,
it was definitely a lot of fun. What was a better night, do you think? The view from Friday night or being in the pit for Saturday?
I mean, honestly, that view is incredible, but being in the pit was awesome too because earlier when you asked about Red Rocks, I talked to some people and I compared the history of Red Rocks is a whole lot better, but the downfall, this is what gets a lot of people, they say that Red Rocks is better than the Gorge solely because it's more convenient and accessible, but I don't care who you are.
Red Rocks is more convenient and accessible?
Yeah, because it's not out in the middle of nowhere and you ain't got to drive 2 hours from the airport to get there, you know.
Yeah. See, well, we drove to the Gorge, but I mean, to me, I don't think it was that bad, but.
Oh, I didn't either, but I suggest if anybody can get a chance to go out there, go to the Gorge. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was just the view alone. I know Thursday night, and it was not your birthday. We kind of went walking around a vineyard at 2:00 in the morning and on a light show in the state.
Yeah.
And we went back the next day and it was this view on the right hand side, and yeah, we were pretty close to the edge at night.
Oh yeah.
It was a close one. It was a you almost fell over that. We had a video. It's somewhere. I was gonna pull it. I don't have the video. I was gonna try to pull it, but you almost fell over it.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
You'd be all right. If you fell off that thing, come on now. You've been anything but all right. I thought I pulled some more pictures from that show. I guess
hey, there ain't no pussies in the Hall of Fame, you know.
Oh, dude, you gotta drop that on here.
Yeah. Hey, it was fitting for that.
That's gonna be Johnson's. That's gonna be Johnson saying. Your saying is gonna be, I just want to be on Eric Church's phone. Everybody's gonna have a thing now. Watch. Big Chris is gone, man. Now it's was it PHOF?
Nah. Sorry for you.
Oh, you're all good. So this one right here, you almost fell backwards too. Here in this picture.
Yeah.
So on the Gorge, what was one of your highlights, do you think? I mean, we're talking about the view and everything else, but like when it comes to the show, do you think he had more energy for the Gorge? Do you think he wanted it more? I mean, what do you?
Yeah, I definitely think he was very interested and looking forward to that show the whole time. And then the show, both shows are incredible. But
that was supposed to be the end of the first leg of the tour, right?
It was. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
No, it was the end. Yeah, it was the end of the first leg. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
The camping, man, cooking food at 3:00 in the morning and hanging out with.
Oh, because they provided grills for you too, and that was awesome.
Yeah, and then hanging out with the camp counselors or whatever you want to call them. Met a friend called Kirby. Jordan don't like Kirby, but he's pretty cool.
Was that the guy that I met?
Yeah, he had the big
with the dread that sent me to the taco stand the next day.
Yeah.
That was a fun taco stand. Oh man, yeah, that was a good night. That was the first night, yeah. So tell me about sleeping outside Nashville.
Well, I think everybody hates me because I snore real loud. I know that. But no, it was hot for one. It was fun. I have a new shirt there thanks to Taylor, and Chris dared me to wear the pink flamingos. So I was like, "You done dared the wrong person." So I done
Now,
it.
were you wearing that when church walked up?
Yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. He was like, he probably was like, "Who the heck is this guy?"
You should just be like, dude, I'm Hulk Hogan. He'd be like, oh, I know. Nina saying Kirby is a bad influence. Kirby got me to the taco truck. That's all I'm saying. It was awesome.
Kirby, man, and he's from South Carolina too, so not far away. We're gonna meet up one day.
That was the guy with the dreads, right? The camp counselor with the dreads,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're talking about the same guy then.
Yeah.
Between him and Bill on Saturday, I don't know. Never mind. We'll save that for the post show.
Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Hardy party, as Taylor's saying. Hey, that's true.
Yeah, and so the hanging out there, and the Keith cooking up some good food, and it was fun. And then we had a surprise visit from some country star people like or something. I don't know who he is. Eric Church. I ain't never heard of him.
He wasn't a country star that night though. He was just kind of coming and hanging out, man.
Oh yeah, he's cool, man, down to earth. No aviators, so you can actually see his eyes.
See, while all of us are over here singing karaoke across the water, you guys are over here hanging out at church.
Hey, I tried to come to that, but Jordan did not bring her license, so she couldn't get in. So
yeah. Oh man, that's funny. No, I was like, hey, I'm gonna come check him out. I mean, I came down about what 4 a.m. I think I hung out with you guys for a couple minutes.
Oh yeah.
Just to say hi. But what time did you get in line?
Oh, I want to say like around 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe the day before.
Yeah, oh yeah. So you got to hear the whole sound check going on and everything else then.
Yeah, they were running people off trying to record and stuff. It's crazy.
Well, that's one heck of a good group, man. You guys even had the Sony flag out there. That was cool.
Oh yeah, Derek. Last minute he thought about grabbing it. So.
Oh, that's awesome. They had it on him like that. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Church hanging out, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah, Clark was experiencing a lot of things that night.
What did you think about Nissan Stadium?
Well, that was pretty awesome. It was just, his first big stadium sellout. Very crowded. But afterwards, seeing all the pictures from people up at the top, I've sat up top at shows. I've been in the pit. I don't mind. I'll go anywhere. But it was awesome. It was a very good show, and he kind of gave the finger to Nashville a little bit, and so.
I felt like it was a finger to Nashville in a way, and I think there's a lot of Nashville that was there. I think a lot of people kind of came out and just kind of checked out the first half and left.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of people leave during the show, but I think it was definitely. I mean, he still holds the record. So until someone else comes in and breaks it, which I'm sure if Garth played Nissan Stadium, he'd break it. No doubt about it. I mean,
probably, yeah.
We all know how he is, but hey, it is what it is. So
yeah.
I mean, you're still in his. It's still his world right now. So.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else will get their chance every now and then, and just like Rich Cassidy said, and once Church gets his chance at Entertainer of the Year or whatever, he's going to win it for a few years. He's going to run with it. I mean, yeah, I thought this year was his time, but Garth is dominating. I mean, he's a hell of a good show live, and he's dominating. So
yeah, I've seen him once before, and he put on a really good show. I mean, but
he's out there with the radio, he's out there with the industry, so he doesn't pull his band an hour before. Or anything else. So, I mean, he doesn't shoot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
It's hard. But, oh well. If you guys are just tuning in, we are live right now with my good friend Matt Hardy. Good old North Carolina boy right here. You can tell by his accent. He still has a good accent. It's not Boomhauer just yet. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, Arlo Revolution, for sponsoring tonight's show or every show, presenting every show, more like it. But, you got to tell me where after, let's see, we were talking about Nashville, the stadium. Where do you think he goes? Do you think it is going to be stadiums that he's going to go to? Do you want to be in stadiums?
I don't know. I've heard rumors that might be. It'll be interesting. I mean, they were horrendous to wait in line and all that, but I think it would be cool to see it, but it'd be a lot. But I'd go. I mean,
Now, would you give up your pit for the stadiums to maybe get a seat and just kind of hang out at the tailgates and kind of do all that instead? Do you think, or do you think you'd still wait out and do the whole pit aspect of everything?
I do both. It just depends on what my friends wanted to do. Like I've said, I've been in the nosebleeds when my friends have been in the pit, and I don't mind it from any point of view or any angle. It's still a hell of a show.
It is. I mean, it's nice to take in different viewpoints too of the show and kind of get different feels of it and different. I think it's a different show from different areas of the arenas, so you could definitely get a whole. Like you could sit back, watch the show, and take it all in, see the whole thing, or you could kind of get right down front and be part of it. And it's like, do you want to watch or do you want to be a part of it?
Oh yeah.
And I'll wait hours to be part of a show. So
yeah, so that's a good picture there you brought up. It was up in Texas.
So Brian saying anyone who has played Nissan Stadium, Garth can't break the record on their first try in the opening act. I agree. I don't know if anybody could do it with no opening act. I think it'd be tough.
Yeah, it would be.
I think a lot of people were curious about church, and that's why they went and they left early. And I think that's why they had the big number that they had. Because I'm sure they got that number from tickets scanned at the gate. So I'm sure that's where they got it from. And I know the day of, tickets were really cheap. You could get in there pretty cheap. So maybe people were just going to check to see what this guy was all about and how this guy could be in a stadium with no opener at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm glad that they showed Ashley was there that night. He didn't bring her out. I'm glad he didn't bring her. He wanted to do it himself. I mean, that was his show. He wanted to do it.
And it's crazy how it's evolved from the Outsiders tour to now, because when my very first show, his opening acts were Dwight Yoakam and then Hellstorm and then Eric Church. And now he has nobody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now, well, that's what I'm saying. If he goes back to stadiums, or if he not back, but if he goes to stadiums on the next tour, first off, he needs another album before he can do stadiums. Mm-hmm. Does he take an opener with him this time? Does he take somebody? Does he do a stadium tour by himself?
He just needs to let Joanna go out there and sing a few songs first.
Right?
Joanna's awesome, man.
Kind of like Garth does with Trisha. Freaking let him do his 2 sets, and right in the middle of his 2 sets, give Joanna a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
I mean, the band never gets a break. Well, then give the band a break and come out and do a 30-minute set. Shit. There you go. There's your different show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you watching the chat at all?
No, Jordan is. I'm trying to focus on it.
Probably trying to get you not to watch it.
Oh, I can't wait to go back after.
They're all trying to get you to do something. We'll try to bring it up here in a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Jordan's like, oh, I hate you. Yeah, this picture here, we got there early for Austin. That run what was the worst run, Austin or the Gorge?
Oh my gosh, they were all honestly both like neck and neck, but I think it was probably Austin, because me and Weber were both in freaking pants and boots. Because of the Gorge, we were in shorts.
Yeah.
But I think Weber would agree that the Gorge was worse for him, because he about pulled his hamstring or something.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
Like, something happened. Like, I know the first night he did, and the second night he was nervous, and that was my birthday, and I want to get down pin. There's no way, because that's when I hit my peak. I was like 255. I was like, I ain't gonna be able to keep up. My asthma was really bad around then. I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to keep up at all on this one at the Gorge. And I mean, I tried. I mean, I made it halfway down the hill, because once I started running down the hill, I couldn't stop. Because that's how I made it as far as I did. I had some good momentum going, but
yeah. And ever since that, me and Weber have a little deal. Whoever loses the race has to buy a beer. So.
Oh, there you go. That's a good deal. I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get involved. I ain't gonna keep up with y'all or anything, but I'm gonna get in there. But yeah, I think I don't know, Austin. I made it a little further, but I was barefoot in Austin because I totally didn't plan well. I had flip flops on, so I had to run a good bit of the running period. Running does blow. I mean, I would love. We almost had him at the gorge though to walk us down in a single file line. We were working, we were definitely trying to work, and that guy was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Me, anybody says, "All right, gates are open," everybody's gonna run no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was always the decoy. I would be like, "All right, you guys get in front of me. I'm the bigger guy. I'll slow everybody else behind you down." So, yeah, Austin was fun, dude, out there.
Yeah, it was. It's a hotel. Because we was there for 2 shows, and so each day that was fun.
I know last week I was talking with Ed Walsh, and I know Walsh was a big part of Austin and in Texas, and that was awesome.
Yeah, sure was.
I don't know what this show's from, man. You got some good people in this picture.
That was this past show at Birmingham. Yeah, that woman just happened to. She was like for a radio station, and it's the last minute she threw the head up in there.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it was like Eric just ran in the back and photobombed?
Right after me and Clark. It's pretty much Alabama and Georgia football teams playing, and Alabama beat us, and Clark lost. Georgia lost. We lost to Mitch.
Oh man, did you have a good bet?
We lost to Mitch and Adam to the cornhole champions. So.
Oh yeah, that's where they took
the boards home.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I saw that. That's cool. Those are cool boards. Like I saw them in the store. I know Wheelers are gonna be like, dude, shut up. But I don't know if I'd pay for them, just because I know it's more of an image. Like, if I'm paying $400 for some boards, I want them to like be airbrushed, or I don't want it to be like a sticker. And to me, it looked more like a sticker. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's a nice sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm gonna buy some boards, I want some nice painted boards. Like for $400, dude, you could buy some nice boards.
Yeah.
So, but if you're really good at the game, you can win them too. So,
yep.
I know I was Scott Green's partner in Nashville, and I'm terrible. We won. I think we won the first round and got smoked in the second round, and then I think he came back and won them in, was it Detroit or somewhere? He won them.
Oh,
so these people will come back and win some. I don't know where he was, but I think Scott won the board somewhere.
Yeah, but I'll give it to Clark. He hung in there. He was me and him done a.
Well, you made it to the championship, though, right?
No, we made it to the second round.
So who did Mitch have to play in the championship?
Some girlfriend and boyfriend, or husband and wife. I don't know.
Oh man, they're the Sharks right there, dude. They ain't gonna let you know.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, if they have a beer in their hand, it's always don't play them. They're good. They're drinking. They're good.
Oh yeah.
Brian, was that he said Janet spraying down to the pit at the gorge with 9 Jack Daniel bottles in her bra, including 3 single barrel.
That's a good bra.
I remember, Scott, we were definitely terrible in Nashville. I remember I was running. Was it the gorge or Austin? I think it was Austin. And this dude had Jack bottles. I don't know if it was in his boot or where, and they were flopping one out of the other. And there was a cop standing right there. He goes, "Hey, you want to pick these up, or do you want me to pick them up?" Just like yelling at him. And the guy's like, "You can keep them," and just kept on running. And that was hilarious. And Wheeler's on the ends. Oh yeah, Scott won in Grand Rapids. He said,
"Nice." So, one thing about Brian and Janet, that's how I met them was. I had extra tickets because Chris couldn't make it. Big Mike, he couldn't make it out to the gorge, and then I think I had an extra one too. And I ended up selling them to Brian and Janet. So that's how I met them. And heck, they offered to bring me from North Carolina out there and bring me liquor and whatever I needed. They're pretty good people out there.
Weber says he's still undefeated against you.
Yeah, he is. One day. Maybe Kenny Chesney at Arrowhead Stadium.
Are you going?
I'm gonna try. I want to go out. I don't know if we're. However, I want to come out there and go to that show. That'd be pretty cool if I can work it out.
I did Chesney at Arrowhead when Church was with them. I think I did that show. I think it was just once. Have I been? I don't know. Where's Buck when I need him? I don't know. I've been to Arrowhead at least once. I don't know if it's been once or twice. Man, their tailgate game's strong. So I will give Chief fans that their tailgate game is out there real strong. So I would like to see Church headline at Arrowhead. I mean,
Yeah,
the Chiefs headlining where the Chiefs play. I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
oh
So
yeah, oh yeah,
I mean, I feel it. I don't know it. I feel it's coming.
yeah.
He's due, and it sucks. And I don't know if he brings an opener or not, but if he does, I hope it's an off the wall, like something like Hailstorm was. But I hope it's just something crazy. Like I know his manager John Peets is also Black Keys manager. I think like Church Black Keys stadium tour together.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. I love the Black Keys.
Oh yeah, just throw them together, dude. I mean, just two off the walls, dude. Do 4 hours of music. Give the Black Keys 2 hours, Church 2 hours, and let them draw straws each night to see who goes first. Fuck it. Just do something like that, and just have something off the wall and have something fun. If you're gonna do a stadium, at least make it worth it. I mean, make our work worth it. Make it a great show or whatever. Make it 2 amazing acts or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Zach Brown band. I don't know if I was. Oh, is he talking about 2020? Maybe he's talking about 2020 for Chesney.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know. I know he was talking about or Chesney was talking about coming out in 2020, but we'll see what happens with that. Man, do you know it's like 9 o'clock? We're already an hour in. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Told you it's gonna go fast, man.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm telling you, I gotta see where my other topics are and see where we're gonna go next. Where do you want to go next?
Well, let's talk about the one picture there for a second. So
All right.
that was the the first Sonny Melton fundraiser we done. And, me and Will Long, Jordan, my sweet Jordan here. She took me and Will Long down to Charlotte Airport, dropped us off, and we went to the bar. And some woman's like, "Oh, you're going to a church singing thing or something?" She's like, "What church is it?" I'm like, "No, ma'am, you don't understand." Like, so I had to explain the shirt because I was wearing that shirt. And then, man, when I walked in that bar that night, Mo's place, that was awesome. Man, it was so good to see everybody, and just there was so many hugs and rounds of drinks and everything. It was awesome.
Moe's was different. Moe's was special. Just walking in and everything else. I mean, I know Chicago Nashville was good, but Moe's was the first one, and it was just special.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I really hope Staples is working hard for one for 2020 and whatnot. And I know whatever he does is gonna be pretty badass. Whatever he does. So,
oh yeah, always.
the last 2 he's done has been amazing, and hopefully I can help him any way I can and be a part of it again. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a party.
Oh yeah, ain't no party like the Hardy party.
Yeah, I was hoping we were gonna get that tonight. So tell me, I did not know this other picture I threw up. Let me get this picture out here real quick. So, if you guys are listening and on our streaming side of things, try to tune in on Tuesday nights. We show a lot of pictures live. If we can't tune in live, we're archived on YouTube, everywhere else. I know if you're streaming somewhere in your car right now and listening, it's tough seeing the picture. So the picture I have up here now, I'm pretty sure is the picture after a special Opry. And I didn't know you were there at that night. Tell me about the emotions that night.
Man, I think we all cried like babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I think that was took before the show, but that was the where he kind of talked about the shooting in Vegas, and he pointed out and said there was 2 empty seats there tonight. It was Sonny and Heather seats, and that was, man. He sang some heart wrenching songs that night, and he still done his Eric fashion though. He didn't let the time limit. He didn't. he didn't listen to the Opry, and but before that show, it was fun because Strawberry was there. I think. I know
you guys
Chris
pregame pretty hard for that one too.
Yeah, we had the flags hanging up. Maybe it was Chris's truck. We had the Strawberry flags hanging up. We was tailgating, and I went to the mall across the street and went to a German brewery place and had this big freaking beer. And then after the show, man, I didn't know Chris that much, and man, he let me crash his hotel room. He had an extra bed, so that's just something like everything the show had to offer, and then the people there, and then just people being so open and just letting people crash at their hotel and stuff, man.
Yeah. It's just amazing, like especially from the choir. I mean, definitely like all the different aspects, and it was like, oh, hey, you got a floor. I mean, what was it in Chicago? I think I slept on a bench this year. We had what, 6 of us or something?
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in a room.
5 of us or whatever in this little ass room. So I was like, whatever.
Oh man, it was fun though. Good memories, good times.
Yeah, exactly. I had no problem. I'm sleeping a couple hours. Other than that, I'm in line and whatnot. So,
and that was the day that I think it was after the Chicago, my Carolina alarm, my ringtone for my alarm was Carolina, and that played for like 8 solid hours, and everybody hated me, but no one got up to cut it off. So
everybody
it
was so
says
damn
something.
tired. We're just laying there. We're like, do we get up? Who's gonna get up? You gonna get up? Savaka, you get up? And everybody like, nope, not getting up. Because that was after Thursday night was when Chief played
at Joe's.
Is that when they played Joe's? Well, hey,
Something.
let's talk about them real quick. I got
Okay.
yeah, let's do that. Let me pull that photo up. One that you took that night. Now we're talking about it. Let's just roll into it. You know, we're gonna have so many stories and pictures I'm never gonna get to tonight. This is actually my next guest. It's gonna be on our next episode. It's not Eric singing. It looks like him.
Yeah, it does.
And Hardy's picture, but so Chief played Joe's live in Rosemont before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's your take on a cover band and like a tribute band? I think Chief is more paying tribute to church. Do you think it's a cover band, or what? How do you feel about like stuff like this?
No, definitely. Cover bands. I think they just like there's a local band here I like, and they sing a lot of covers, but they just sing them in their own ways. But tribute bands, which what Chief is, if you did not know that was not Eric Church, they just put that much passion into it. And Trevor, from head to toe, you can't tell the difference. He does the beating of a chest. Everything Eric does, he does.
He studied them, man.
Oh yeah, he is 100% tribute. His whole band, just everything they do is to tribute Eric Church.
We're doing something really cool tomorrow night. I'm not allowed to say it. Hopefully next week, around Christmas or so, we'll be able to drop it. But we're gonna do something really cool tomorrow night, and we're filming something really cool, and I can't wait and to share it with everybody. But it's with a couple of the guys from Chief, and it's for their show. They're actually gonna be playing Chicago at Joe's Bar coming up in January, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, I think I too. I feel the same way. I think they stand out. I don't think it's a cover band. I think it's more a cover band. I think of Broadway in Nashville. I think of cover bands during the daytime cover bands. That's one reason why I don't spend a lot of time on Broadway. I want to hear, like, I remember when I first went to Nashville and I'd walk up and down Broadway, and this is, I don't know, 18 years ago, 20 years ago. You would hear original music coming from these bars, and it'd be really good stuff too. And now it's like you go down there, you hear Wagon Wheel 20 times in an hour.
Yeah.
What's your take? I know we've spent some time in Nashville. What's your take of downtown Nashville? How it's getting?
It's definitely fun. Go see the history and see the famous bars and all that. They've got new stuff now. I never got to go to Paradise Park, and it's coming back. Partially smaller version, but I definitely want to go. I know that's one of Taylor's favorite places.
Oh, I love it. And they had that food challenge I never got to do. And if they come back and they have that food challenge, that big old burger and like 2 pounds of tots or whatever it was, I'm doing it. I'm in.
I think you can get $6 pitchers of beer, so I want to go back with Jason because Nino said he's a good time there.
Jason's normally a good time anywhere.
Oh yeah,
especially Chicago, man.
Oh yeah,
Chicago this year. Oh boy. Yeah. He upset some people. Chicago was a good time with him, but all right, you got to talk about. I'm gonna throw these pictures up here, and you got to talk about them. There's one of them. I don't know what happened to the other one. Old one.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
to
So,
talk about what you do on the side. Kind of want to. I mean, is this your full-time gig now?
not yet. That's my volunteer department.
Okay.
That was a 9/11 stair climb, and I done in memory of all the firemen that died at 9/11.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
I do work at 2 different fire departments part time. I
Mm-hmm.
work one of them. If anyone out there has ever heard of the Andy Griffith TV show, um, Mayberry, I work in Mount Airy, North Carolina, where all that was filmed at, based at. I work over
Nice.
there. But no, I'm just taking a lot of classes. You can spend your whole life taking stuff, and I'm just knocking it out right now. So one day
Yeah.
when I get hired, I ain't got to worry about it. So yeah.
So is that your dream? Your dream job to be a firefighter?
Yeah, I guess. I joined when I was 14. Ever since then, I just had a knack for it, I guess. Couldn't get away from it.
I got respect, man, for firefighters for sure. I know I think I've shared it with you before, but like I lost before I was ever born. But my mom was in a fire in 1969, and I mean, firefighters have always been something that I was growing up on, and like my old bedroom, like I had a fire truck bed. And it's
Oh,
kind of funny because my parents have recreated it for Jackson for my kids now,
yeah.
and to see all of it was cool. So I mean, to see what you do, man, and to know because I know you're out there saving lives and running, doing crazy stuff, and it's not your full time job right now. I mean, you're still volunteer, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I volunteer at one place like totally free, but
Yeah.
I do work at 2 places part time. So
It's awesome, man.
yeah,
That
but
is
hey,
definitely awesome. You
it
be
ain't
safe
just.
out there.
Oh, I try. Hey, and old Greg up there, Greg's tried to get me to come
You
be a
should.
fireman up there for a long time. But it ain't just firemen; it's paramedics. Old
Yeah.
Jordan here, she's a paramedic and soon to be nurse. So and cops too. So
I know how that is. I live with a nurse, man. We barely ever get to see her half the time, but she works hard.
oh yeah,
So
that's pretty funny.
I'm looking at the chat. You know, Taylor wants you to be a Chippendales dancer. I mean, you and I could probably definitely go into it. I mean, you've seen the whole what was it, Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley routine?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we can do this, dude.
yeah.
Chuckendale.
As long as Mitch don't get too mad at me.
So go next church show is gonna be the Chuckendales, Hardy and Shriver show. Oh, look, everybody's saying your dream job is to be a Chippendales dancer. Even Gene, look at this. Jordan's just like, nope, he's my Chippendale. Nobody else's.
Hey, if
No,
anybody
man.
needs it,
No, good.
there's a lot of people out there who wants me to be an au pair too. So, and the correct spelling of au pair is OPEAR.
At least you've never been a baby's daddy yet that you know of. So
No. Not even to hacksaw. Dude,
I was like,
been,
hey, we're not even gonna. I was gonna pull that video earlier. That was
I was
funny.
gonna say that'd been awesome to play that video.
I was gonna pull it, but I was just like, I got so busy doing some stuff, I never got a chance to pull it up. But we'll get on that in a little bit.
All right.
There'll be another time. We'll be a few more minutes. We'll bring in the whole hacksaw thing. So I got one more big story that I want you to kind of touch on here in a minute.
Okay.
But before we do that, let me look at these. I'm trying to look at whatever pictures I have left. And if you are tuning in on any of our streaming areas, Apple Podcasts or anything else, please, like I said, keep checking out on Facebook Live or YouTube so you can see these pictures that we're sharing. Let's throw this one up real quick. So you kind of went out and saw somebody that I follow around a little bit too. I'm gonna throw this picture up, but I didn't lose it already. There it is. So where'd you see Tucker at?
Oh, that was at one of the CMA Fest. I think that was the party that I sat in line with you all day, the fan club party. I just come up.
Oh yeah.
I just come up for the sit in line, honestly, and then I hung out a few days with some people. And I'd never really done the CMA Fest, and I'd like to go one year and do the whole entire week. But that was one of them where you enter in to win, and I want a meet and greet with him. And now the shirt is a Chase Rice shirt, Carolina can. That's good. I like Chase a little bit. Jordan's a Duke fan, but Chase he went to Carolina. He played football at Carolina, but That's pretty cool. But yeah,
That's
that
cool.
was in the big convention center there, or whatever that place is in Nashville.
Well, you got to see him live too, right?
Yeah, I've seen him at a few shows. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he's talented, man. I saw him the other night.
Oh yeah, and then I saw his dad one time at the Writers Round. So I got Casey talked a lot about
I was
songs.
gonna say if you guys don't know, Tucker Beathard is Homeboy. The song Homeboy was written about him. His dad is Casey Beathard, wrote a lot of songs with Church. He's was the writer on Like Jesus Does, which is the only song that Church has ever recorded that he didn't write. So the songwriting runs in the family. So, but yeah, we'll talk about Tucker way down the line. Don't worry. And then this picture here, I pulled this one too. I had to share this one.
So
You
that was
talk about this one, man.
yeah, that was at the CMT Music Awards. I've never been to an award show. I want to go. I want to go to the CMA Awards. I want to go to all of them, but I got to find a way in somehow. But the CMT Awards, I bought a ticket, and I was out there at the red carpet, and a lot of people I show this picture to don't think it's actually Billy Ray, but it really is. It was when he was doing that TV show, I'm Still the King. He grew his hair out, and his facial
He
hair.
dyed it all.
Yeah, so I have been told many times that that's not really him, but it was. I mean, it was him, and he is pretty cool, man. We talked
If
for a little
anybody,
bit.
if anybody tells you that's not him, tell him. I mean, I ain't nobody, but tell him, call me up. So, a lot of people probably don't know, but before Church, my guilty pleasure was Billy Ray Cyrus. My mom, she was obsessed in the '90s with Billy Ray. She followed him everywhere. I've probably seen Billy Ray 100 times, and it's cool. Like we were on first name basis. I loved. Like I knew his band, and the funniest story out of all this now is Eric Church's guitar tech. So the guy that you always will see exchange guitars every single night with Eric was Billy Ray Cyrus's guitar player. So I've known that guy since I was like 15 years old. So who's that lady? I'm telling you, who's that lady? The best. If you guys want to hear Billy Ray Cyrus, I'm going to tell you the best he was after Some Gave All, or after Achy Breaky, and before Hannah Montana. Check out that music. Check out like Storm in the Heartland. It Won't Be the Last. Check out that stuff. Man, what was that? Shot Full of Love. That album. Check out that album. That was a good album. That's who you'll find out Billy Ray was if you guys want to talk about Billy Ray Cyrus. But all right, so let's bring it up where I got this at. So you were very lucky to be somewhere one night, and it was a place that Church wasn't supposed to be at, but he was being honored at. And you were there, and I guess his mom was talking at the time.
Yeah, his mom and sister were there to accept the award on his behalf. His mom got up to give the speech, and this was at what they call the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
They have a ceremony every year, and they induct just various artists throughout who were born in North Carolina or had a significant impact on North Carolina. And he was one of the artists that night getting inducted. And the whole time going into it, I knew friends going. We were all going with the hopes that Eric would show up there because he had confirmed he couldn't make it. But we still went with hopes. And I had that tie made. And that was before he had more albums. So if you zoom in real close, all the album names are on there. And then the picture in the middle, I took that one. That was one of the joint pictures I took in Raleigh. And so his mid acceptance speech, his mom was talking, and all of a sudden you heard some noise backstage, and that's kind of rude, they're cleaning up while she's trying to talk. All of a sudden, old Eric Church walked out on stage, and me and like 10 people start cheering. And everybody else is like, "Who's this guy?" And
who's Kanye? This guy's.
Yeah, he come out, and his mom had no clue. Like, seriously, she was shocked, and that's the picture out there. She gave him a kiss on the cheek, and he talked a little bit, and then he was heading off stage, and we started saying, like, play a song, and he literally picked up somebody's random guitar, kind of like Brad and Aubrey's random kitchen, but some random guitar, and he said, "I don't know what tune this is in," and he started playing a song, and he played Carolina, and after he got done and left, this couple behind me, they were an older couple, they tapped me on the shoulder, and it's like, "Who was that? And what song was that? That's pretty good." I'm like, so I had to tell him who Eric Church was and all that.
That's the guy who was just being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So it was cool because like when the story came out like the next day, it went viral on all the pages of that Eric Church had break into his old Hall of Fame. And then I was reading today, just kind of refresh on it, but he was at a private gig like 90 minutes away in North Carolina, and we got over sooner, like a prior engagement that he had. And it got over sooner than he thought. And he took his dad's Cadillac or something, and Marshall drove it 90 minutes. And then they get there and they couldn't get into the place. And Marshall ended up finding a window that was open, like a backstage window is open on this old theater, and scaled the wall and got in and found a ladder and tossed it down to Church and Catherine. And then they crawled in the backstage. So they kind of broke into his own ceremony.
Yeah, that's every bit of that's true. And it was crazy, man. I'm glad he showed up. Yeah, he was up in High Point, North Carolina, doing a thing for his furniture line that night. Then, yeah, come on down
there. That is awesome, though, man.
Oh yeah, that's pretty awesome. And that was the night that I got to meet Miss Lee Harris Haywood.
Oh, she was there that night too?
Oh yeah, and her friend Amy Kitts, and then
John
Barlow was there.
John's a good guy, man.
And Herminator was there.
Oh, Herminator, he's another guy right there. Yeah, John's related. He's Eric's mom is his cousin.
Yeah, cousin. Mm-hmm.
So I talk to John a lot every now and then. Good guy though, really good guy.
Yeah, I've got some very sacred merchandise from John, and I made him a deal. If he ever wanted it back, I would give it back to him. But right now, it's in my possession, and it'll never be sold. So it's some very.
Are you allowed to say what it is or no?
I'll put my hands up as the.
All right.
I got that, and then
that's where you got them from. That's the one thing, other than the record player, that's the one thing I've always been searching for. That I don't have on the wall. And if I ever see one on eBay again, I probably won't have the money for it. So whatever. But
the only thing I don't have and I want is the little Picto thing that you got.
Yeah, I don't know about that now. One just hit eBay.
Yeah.
Money for that. Somehow I know this, and the guy that's selling them, I'm sure he listens. I'm sure he's a choir member, and I've dealt with him a lot. I know Weber's dealt with the guy a lot. I don't know what his intentions are, but he has a lot of stuff on his page right now. He flips a lot of stuff. I'm not going to say his eBay name. I'm not going to go about it. You can find it yourself, do whatever you want with it. But I understand people that do it. I understand the game. I understand the market for things, but speaking of that, but you got this picture I stole from you, and that's probably one of the hottest things that ever pops up on the market. But the old Opry poster, everybody fights for every year.
I know where that one's located at, but
well, that one's in the Hall of Fame, right?
It is. If anyone's ever in North Carolina, holler at me and we'll ride down there together. But so that's a big old place, and each artist has.
Now you're gonna create like a Mona Lisa like stealing thing, like this Hall of Fame's gonna lock this Opry poster down, because I mean there's not many out there that made it.
Oh yeah.
And if you bought tickets for the show that night, you got one for free, and now it's like the most rarest thing you could find out there.
Oh wow.
So. But how cool was it to be there the night that he was inducted to the Hall of Fame? I mean, was that kind of like something you felt honored to be a part of?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. That was very cool. I bought the VIP. And when I wrote, like, if anyone knows about Kannapolis, this is where they have it at. Kannapolis is a very rich town, man. When you buy the VIP ticket, you have to dress up in a suit and tie.
Yeah.
And so I rolled up, and I looked the part. But my pockets were a whole lot emptier than the other people that were there. But those people were just there because of the socializing with the high class people. I was there for the music and Eric Church and everybody else. So it was very cool to be there. Very cool to see that, and especially that he showed up and see his mom and sister and surprise them and all that. So
that's cool. What other North Carolina natives are in this Hall of Fame? I know. Was it Kelly Pickler just got put in?
Yeah, Bucky Covington, Randy Travis, so many. I can't even.
There was a government. I think
and it's-
government rule was in there.
Warren Haynes. Yeah, I met him.
Yeah, Warren Haynes.
He got inducted the night that Eric did too, and
That's
Carolina
right.
Chocolate
That's right. Warren
Drops.
Haynes guitar.
Yeah, the Avett Brothers, and it's not just country rock. It's all kinds of any genre there is.
Yeah.
Blues, anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's kind of like the North Carolina. What was it? The Roots Fest they did it one year where Eric closed it.
Yeah.
And then what was the one you were at this year? The jam that they do, or it snowed like none other this year.
Oh yeah, that was that was Warren Haynes' Christmas jam.
Yeah.
He usually has one every year. This year they didn't do it. It was last year I was there. Yeah, and Eric played. Dave Gruel played. Man, it was awesome.
Why they didn't do it this year?
They just took one break. Some things probably didn't fall through, but they said they'd definitely be back on schedule next year.
Nice.
Yeah, it snowed like 18 inches, and normally it takes me 2.5 hours to drive from the venue to my work. It took me 7.5 hours to drive, and I drove straight. I was so tired. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. Jordan still hates me for that. She was so worried about me.
She's probably like, stay on the phone with me right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's like Jillian. Like she'll do the same thing. Like if I'm going through like really bad weather and conditions, she'll be like, stay on the phone with me right now. Da da da. I'm like, okay, I will. And then like 5 minutes later, she's just snoring. It's like, why am I on the phone with you anymore? Like you're like, stay on the phone so I can stay awake, and no, I'm not staying awake anymore.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Do you wanna? I'm gonna upload some pictures, and we gotta play a game. We gotta play a game called the Hot Seat. Do you want to go grab a drink or anything?
Yeah, I'll do that. No, I'm gonna go grab something else.
Is that code word? All right, let him grab a drink. I'm gonna upload some pictures. So we're gonna get ready to play a game here that I do every week called the Hot Seat. I'm gonna get some pictures loaded up. I just got a few pictures I was gonna show for this one. We'll see. Probably a couple of them is gonna be like, dude, what the heck? If you guys are tuning in, this has been a great show tonight with Matt Hardy. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I hope that was all the pictures I got for this next one. Let's see. I know he's been saying he wanted to grab a drink, so I was like, oh, go grab a drink. Have a good one. And then we'll continue when he gets back, and this will be fun. I got some fun questions I'm going to ask him. It's like trying to read all these comments too you guys have. So yeah, if you guys are listening, like I said, on Apple Podcast or Spotify or anything like that, come on and try to catch up on YouTube or anything else. I love the audio listeners, but the visual ones that we have are great. We have a lot of good visuals, and this guy's had to use the bathroom. I don't know. He decided to step away because I knew he said he wanted a drink, but maybe he got nervous because the hot seat's coming up, he thought. So this is something we started doing. I'm going to ask him 10 questions I got. Some good ones. Some are church related, some are personal related, some are just funny. So is he coming back? I asked him earlier if he had a doily for that table. Match those curtains. Where's Frazee when I need him? I don't see him in the chat tonight. Frazee's quiet. I think I hear him coming back.
What up, brother?
See, I figured that's what's going on here. That's why I had to get the music ready again.
Got my Santa hat on and everything.
I'm gonna spit out ice. Oh man, this is awesome. All right, we just turned it up a notch. So before I get into the game I was talking about, where did this come from? Where did the whole Hogan aspect come from?
Well,
tell the story, dude.
Well, in the guys' chat that you mentioned earlier, that one guy right there in the Ric Flair costume, we'd all talked about dressing up in Texas. And then I think I was the only one that went through with it, but I'll give Staples a little credit. He wore his for about 5 minutes total, and then I wore everything for about 10 hours. So you good, yeah. But then it was just,
you rocked it.
Yeah, man, it was so fun. I remember walking up to Wheeler right there, and I was like, "Wheeler, what up, brother?" And he had no clue who it was, and he took my sunglasses off, and he was like, "Matt Hardy, what's up, brother?" And but after that, it just kind of stuck, and then everybody liked it. Hulk Hogan showed up at a few shows. One time Eric did, like I was kind of front and center, and he was like, "Hey man, he lost it." He started laughing and pointed at the driver, and they was all laughing. It was pretty funny.
I was gonna say you made it to the big screen a couple times.
Yeah,
a time or two.
Here, Mel.
And I'm sure you're definitely a picture taker all the time.
Oh yeah.
Everybody always wants to take a picture. So, but honestly, probably one of the best pictures ever that exists of the Hogan outfit. I mean, we got a little sneak peek of it when we had Taylor on. But dude, you were in People magazine as Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I was.
Well, I mean, it was online probably. I don't know if it was actually in the magazine, but online. But this picture here this is Chicago, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Night one in Chicago, I think.
Something. I'm still waiting on the royalties to come in from that picture, but
yeah, hit up Anthony, man. So, but that's awesome that you started doing it. And it's kind of stuck, man, because now people look for Hogan out there. I mean, they want Hardy Hogan out there.
Yeah.
All right, so like I was talking while you're getting ready, we have a little game I play every week. It's called the Hot Seat. I got 10 questions I'm going to ask you. You got 60 seconds. Nobody ever is going to get these done in 60 seconds. I don't plan on them to get them done. I say 5 minutes for you to do these, but we're going to see how far you can get.
All right.
All right, question one. One lyric of Eric Church's that stands out to you.
Like a phone call from my baby right here.
There you go. Now, is that Hogan's baby or her baby? No.
Yeah, we'll keep that one on the download.
All right. If you're going to listen to one Eric Church album ever again, what album are you listening to?
Carolina.
All right. One song EC has never covered. You want to hear him cover?
Oh man. Maybe I'm a man of constant sorrow. I don't know.
Oh, dude, that would be, well. He did that one. He did that. I think he did that in Medley.
My bad.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I don't know, but that's a good one though. What is your dream opener for Eric Church?
Oh, the White Stripes. They're not there. They're not together no more. But that'd be cool.
That would be cool. Seven Nation Army before church. Dude, that'd be good. So just recently, I mean, time's up. Whatever, you got through 4, like always. It's always a rough time to get through any of those. Just recently, Eric, they posted what was that, like a list of songs that he's wrote that he's never recorded. What's one song that Eric Church has wrote that you would give anything for him to record?
Loving Me Anyway. I was trying to think of what it's called. Loving Me Anyway.
Well, he recorded that one. That was the bonus track for Cheap, wasn't it? So I'm talking about like World Needs a Drink, like these songs that he's wrote for other artists that he's never recorded. Like if you could have one of those songs back that he's given to another artist. He just recently was on Keith Urban with We Were. Yeah. This is another one was released not too long ago. I mean, what song would you love for him to put on this next album that he wrote that you would love for him to have back?
I saw that list the other day. I just didn't have trouble recalling all of them, but oh man.
It's tough, man. Like one of my cool stories I have about that is the song In Color was recorded by Trace Atkins. It was written by Jamie Johnson, but it was recorded by Chase Atkins. And I know Trace, he put it on the 10 album as a bonus track, but he ended up giving it back to Jamie because right around the time Jamie got his record deal, and Trace gave that song back to Jamie. And that's always been one of the coolest stories I have, like songwriters and seeing all the songs that Church has written, especially with the list that came out recently.
Mhm.
That was a question I wanted to throw in there. So, ain't my future guest? That might be a question you might get.
Okay.
All right, number 6. I got a picture to go with this one. What does not that picture? What does Boone put in his Easter eggs?
Pigs. Yeah.
And candy.
Candy. Yeah.
So tell everybody what this is a picture of.
All right. So the first time I went out to the Wisconsin, Chicago area, Aaron let me stay at his house. So I was lucky enough to win a meet and greet, so I took him along with me. And they had a little trivia before the meet and greet. And I think I answered like 5 out of the 6 questions. And then everybody was mad at me for answering all of them. I was like, "Well, I'm sorry. I know Eric Church a lot, whatever." But
You
I'd
beat me
share.
at church
I gave
birthday.
half my winnings to Aaron, and then one other girl there, Karen Waldrop, I think is her name.
Mm-hmm.
We become friends that night after I gave her a pick, I think. And so that was pretty. It was like around Easter weekend. They had an
Yep.
Easter egg hunt for the kids, so they gave out those as prizes.
Eric talked about during the show that they did an Easter egg hunt during the day in the arena in Milwaukee. I think it was at the old Bradley Center during Hold My Own.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And they had little Easter eggs. So before Eric's meet and greet, Boone walked up to whoever the lady was running the meet and greet, gave her like 3 or 4 Easter eggs, and he put one piece of candy and a guitar pick in each one. And it was the Easter eggs that they used to hide throughout the arena during the day. So I know you got one, I got one, and there's like maybe 1 or 2 more that they had. I never heard of anything like this, but it was kind of cool that we got an Easter egg from Boone.
Oh yeah.
So that was something that it still sits somewhere on the wall. But
Oh yeah. I still got mine.
It's probably kind of green by now.
I ate my candy, but I kept the pick and the egg.
Yeah, I got the pick still. So, all right. The next one, Duke or at UNC?
You say Duke versus or Duke what?
Oh, who are you rooting for?
Better say Duke.
I guess I'm gonna go with. No, see, I'm from North Carolina, but man, I like I just cheer for any North Carolina team. If Duke's not in it and Carolina's in it, I'm rooting for the home team. But Jordan is a big Carolina fan, so I'll go.
I'm a diehard Cubs fan.
Sorry, Duke fan. Sorry.
I'm a diehard Cubs fan, and I'm the same way. If the White Sox made it to the World Series, I'd root them on. I'm a fan of the state. I'm the same way, but I just know college is rivals, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Eric's a rival with Duke, man. So
oh yeah,
that's what I want to ask.
Yeah.
All right, the next question. Let's pull this one off. The next one, I have a picture. Today, right now, in a wrestling match, who would win? Jake the Snake Roberts or Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho!
And why is that?
I mean, you can't beat the man with the 2x4. I mean, come on now.
To see this picture escaped earlier, but I wanted to throw it up there, especially. We're going to talk about Hacksaw. I wanted to pull the video, like I said earlier, but we had a really cool video done. If you don't know the Cameo app, it was on the Cameo app. It was of Hacksaw Jim Duggan for Emily before she had a baby, and we had Hardy involved in it. And that's why I want to see who you're rooting for, Jake the Snake or Hacksaw here.
Oh, Hacksaw. Now, Jake the Snake was one of my mom's favorite wrestlers, but yeah, old Hacksaw, he's the man.
Those are in the 90s right there, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the next question I got. What is one key item that you need or one ingredient that is a must to have for a Hardy party?
Just me, just my awesomeness. No, man, just good times, good friends, good people, people who like the same stuff, music, hanging out, drinking, having a good time.
Man, I agree with that right there. All right, my last question, and I have to bring this one up, even though you're dressed as Hulk. But it was my question I had listed. If you had to pick your proudest moment ever in your life, because you're a very emotional, very proud person, like you have a lot of passion and a lot of pride in a lot of things, and that's one reason why I think you and I have connected in ways, because I like your heart, man. You have a huge heart, but you're passionate about a lot of things. So if you had to pick one moment in your life that you stood on your pedestal and you felt proud about this moment, what was it?
Man, See, I had this question the other day in an interview. In a way, they're like, "What's your greatest failure?" And I'm like, "What? I don't know what my greatest failure is. I don't know, man.
Let's
Probably,
do the opposite. Your proudest moment. The moment your heart felt the fullest, that you just felt so proud of something or whatever in your
yeah.
life.
I guess just it's hard to explain, but working towards all these certifications and classes that I've got, this took me years and years. And when you finally get that paper in the mail, you it gets pretty full right there.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, that's good because you're a guy that you don't pat yourself on the back, and you need a pat on the back. I want to think because you're always the type of guy that you will pat everybody else. You'll give a shirt off your back. You've done it. I've seen it. You're one of the coolest guys I ever met, dude. And like I said, one of the biggest hearts. So that's
Appreciate
why I
that.
want to know what makes you proud because you are always there to even earlier when we were talking off air before we started. You're like, man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You're always the first person to tell somebody else you're so proud of them. And I love that about you. I mean, it's just something about you that you spread to everybody. The cheers, our Christmas episode. You got a Santa hat on. It could be what you spread. I don't know. But being around you, and I know a lot of other people in the choir would definitely feel the same way. Just anytime you're around, it's a different atmosphere having you around us. And I love it, dude. You just bring joy and happiness to everybody. And it's always that to me is my ingredient for a Hardy party is you.
Well, I
Because
appreciate that very
spring.
much, man.
And I've always felt that about you, dude. And it's like that's why I I'm going into 2020. I'm thinking about like themed episodes I want to have. And when I thought about Christmas, and Christmas to me was always a time of giving back and whatnot, and having people with big hearts around. And that's why I'm like, oh, it's Hardy. I mean, Hardy's my Christmas guy. I'm like Santa Hogan.
Well, I appreciate that very much, man.
It's definitely something I want to share with you tonight. And dude, it's been we're already over time. We've got to film a post show and whatnot. So we got tons of pictures I didn't get to share. If you're tuning in, check out the Patreon tomorrow or later on tonight. I normally share some pictures or whatnot that don't make the show, and I got tons of them that didn't make the show tonight. I know Jordan's sitting next to you, so I got to drop this picture real quick and tell her I'm proud of her and all of her accomplishments that she's came across. I know a lot of us are. My wife is Jillian. Everybody, we are definitely proud of you and everything you've accomplished, and it's been cool the last couple of years getting to know you and watching how hard you work. I mean, you two together are just man, that's just wild.
Yeah.
You guys are honestly gonna be a force to be reckoned with down the road because y'all are strong together. You guys got your stuff together. You know what you guys want, and it's cool to see you guys.
Well, she's blushing over here, and she says, "Thank y'all very much." But, yeah,
You know I
man,
was gonna have to call her out eventually, so
she's definitely a genius for one. I can't even go into explain everything she's done and all this, but yeah, she's definitely one of a kind. That's for sure.
well, that's good. I mean, now you just gotta dress that left finger of hers. Now
Oh God.
she's like, "Oh God, don't talk about that." All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Like I said, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna sign off, and then I'll send you another link,
Okay.
and you and I will go ahead and film a post show together
All right.
and whatnot. But I appreciate you joining me tonight, man. It's been a
Yeah,
great night.
thank you. Thanks for having me. See you, everybody.
Dude, we'll talk soon.
All right, see you, man.
All right, man. All right, guys. Let's see. See if eventually I'll catch up on you. I'm trying to clear some stuff here, but thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. We are way over time, like we all are every single week. But it's just the way it is. I have fun doing these. I try to keep them around 90 minutes. Mainly for streaming. 90 minutes is good. Don't scare Jordan away. I'm telling you, but Nina, we had to give her some love out there. I mean, we had to give her some love for sure. Jordan is amazing. She keeps Hardy grounded. Hardy reminds me of myself in a way. We love going out. We love having a good time. Jack Daniels is definitely a friend of ours a lot of times, but you always need that strong woman to help you keep you grounded. So And I think Hardy has his, so I love seeing it. But thank you guys again for tuning in tonight. If you are on Patreon, thank you guys so much. We are going to film or do a quick post show, 15-20 minutes. I'll try to get it up tonight on Patreon. But like I said, we're going to be taking next week off. We're going to be coming back on the 30th with my good friend Trevor. We'll talk about him in a second. But if you haven't joined Patreon yet, check out this. I got a really cool giveaway that we're going to give away on the 30th. So you got to make sure you're signed up prior to the show. I'm going to draw the list at 7 p.m., an hour before the show on the 30th. And that list right there will be the names that we're going to kind of put in a hat and draw a winner live on that show for all this stuff. Some cool stuff. You got the new ornament out there. I just threw a bunch of crap that I found them. Not crap. I mean, some good stuff. But I cleaned out some stuff, found some good stuff, an 8x10 autograph. Just really cool stuff, a 45 in there. Just go check out Patreon. Check out the tiers. I want to thank everybody. I'm so overwhelmed for everybody that's kind of tuned in and really just kind of took on Patreon and helped me out with it, and the support of the show has helped me launch so much stuff that's going to be seen in 2020. So some really cool stuff that we're working on, and I can't wait for my next guest. So we just got done with Hardy, and I cannot wait to bring him back on here in a couple minutes and do our post show together. But my next guest is my good friend Trevor. So Trevor is the lead singer, and we talked about him with Hardy, of the band Chief. Chief is a tribute to Eric Church. They're not a cover band to Eric Church. They're a tribute. And they go out and pay tribute to Eric Church. The songs that they sing and the set list that they build, they want to tune it in, and they do really well doing it. I've seen a lot of other cover bands try to touch Church, and I even told Trevor, I mean, he'll be the first one to tell you, the first time I ever heard him sing Springsteen was not good. But he went and worked on it, and he made it his own. And January 4th, they're going to be out at Joe's Bar. They're going to be rocking it. I'll go ahead and drop the link right now in the chat if you guys want to get tickets. I think tickets are going to be $12 a day of. They were just $5 not like a week or so ago. I don't know. If you guys live around Chicago, come out and check these guys out. It's going to be a great show. We're going to have some really cool teasers coming up. Just watch around. It's gonna be cool. Some cool stuff with them. But like I said, we're gonna be taking a week off for Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you again so much for love and tuning in. Next time you guys will see us, we will be live with Trevor from Chief on a new time, Monday night, December 30th. It's the only Monday night we're gonna do right now. We're gonna be back on Tuesday, right after the first of the year. So thanks again for tuning in. Link for tickets to Chief is in the chat. I'm going to drop Patreon in the chat. God, I don't know what else, but check it all out. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening on Apple, thank you so much for Apple for putting us on and for you listening to me. Thank you.
Aaron Shriver celebrates the music and fans of singer-songwriter Eric Church. Join Aaron again next week as he shares inside stories and life adventures with another amazing member of the church choir. And remember, everything you need to know about the world can be learned in the church choir. Thanks for joining in on the fun, and we'll catch you next time on the Gainin Fast on Memphis podcast with Aaron Shriver.